Hello, hello, and welcome to the first episode of The Dragon's Den. I am your host, Dragon's Fury, aka Shadow, aka Show, aka honestly, I have a lot of names. I've been doing this for a while. Um, this is a long thing coming. I've been wanting to do this for some time. I finally got a good kick in the pants from my boy Apollo over at Consumed by TV. And my cameo I did with them, it was really fun. So I was like, you know what? Let's do my own, where it's more focused on games than television and that kind of media. So that is what it's going to be. It's going to be a lot of stories, a lot of nonsense. As my good friend Jeremy put it, the three F's: uh, fuckery, foolishness, and fantasy, all of which are going to be involved. Um, so we're going to kick things off with kind of an overlay of what I'm shooting for to go through. It's going to be a lot of stories from my favorite games, mainly Skyrim, um, Destiny, back in the day, Destiny, not current Destiny, but we'll get to that. Games that I currently play, like League of Legends, Blade of Soul, any other thing that I pick up. I think Hextech Mayhem, I have a couple stories with it, so it should be great. As well as what I see in my future for gaming. Like, where are games going to be like with the newest technologies that are coming around, the newest ideas and whatnot? Am I still going to even be a part of it? Um, you get old. Sometimes it's just not as fun. So, that being said, let's start things off with a Skyrim story. So, for those of you that don't know about Skyrim, it is a fantasy, or I guess RPG would be the best way to describe it. And from the Elder Scrolls series, it's pretty popular, so most people do know about it, even if you don't play. It also has a online presence as well in Elder Scrolls Online, which I also play. Love that. But Skyrim, the region itself, is my favorite. So the best story and story that I tell pretty much everybody is the time that I became a demigod. And I like to tell this story because there's so many other parts to it. There's so many other stories that go along with this story. And this story is that I decided to basically make a mage that is functionally unkillable. As long as I am still in combat, as long as I am actively trying to stay alive, I am unkillable. To do so, I had to start from level 1. There was no going into other different paths. I had to go specific paths to do specific things just to get to where I wanted to be. So there's a lot of trees that needed to be taken care of just to get to a point where I could make what needed to be made to get to where I wanted to be. There's a lot, but we'll do that in future episodes of the steps forward and that I took to become a demigod in Skyrim. But the main thing is that I became a demigod in Skyrim, and I wanted to test my power. So there is a thing that happens when you hit a certain level in Skyrim. It's around like level 20. You get attacked by dragons randomly. And dragons level as you level. So at certain capstones, you will get different level dragons. Now, by the time I became a demigod, I am well into level 50, 60 at this point, right? So that puts me well in the upper echelon of the scaled monsters that exist in this game. That being said, the dragon that I finally find that can actually fight me head on without being murked within one shot is a legendary dragon. And as the name specifies, whew, he was a beast. So I'm fighting him out by a lake, and it is just a back and forth because the way that I built this character is that as long as there's a target, I can life steal. And so I'm just draining his life away from him to replace mine as I'm taking massive amounts of damage. And it is rough. I mean, rough. But we get through. I managed to unleash one of my strongest continual spells, which essentially equates to a DBZ Kamehameha. And if you don't know what that is, go look it up. So it's just me, this giant line of lightning, and where the dragon should be. Because at this point, from my angle, it is just a giant ball of lightning. I can't see him or anything past that for that matter. So I see the health bar, it's dwindling, it's going, 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 it's going. And it eventually just drops. Now, for those who've played Skyrim, know that there's this fun thing that we like to say. Is it a bug or is it a feature? And that means there's a lot of problems in Skyrim that may or may not be purposeful. One of those bugs that may or may not be purposeful are the interactions between certain spells and animations. So in my tree, there's something that causes enemies to turn to ash when using lightning. But it's not all the time. It's just kind of a chance that they turn to ash. Unfortunately, this chance happened. And the dragon turns to ash. So now there's just a pile of ash in front of me, which is a problem. Because typically, when you kill a dragon, it does its death animation and then it kicks into its second part, which it disintegrates into just a skeleton, and the energy and its essence basically flows into you. Well, that wasn't happening. And I was concerned because I thought I was robbed of a soul. And I was like, come on, where is my soul? So I'm kind of just like hanging around, trying to figure out what happened to my soul, or if I have to restart this fight again because it's like I need the soul. I'm trying to get other stuff done here. I can't just let the soul go or whatever. So after waiting some time and getting to a point where I'm just like, all right, screw it. I finally get the soul. I finally get the soul animation. And it is just coming out of the tiniest speck of what is left of this ash pile and just flowing into me like a torrent. And when I tell you, the look on my face made it seem like I saw the craziest thing. I mean, it was wild. And it was just so funny to me because it was like, that is such a weird thing to see when you're so used to it coming out of a skeleton. Just like a tiny little ash pile instead of a big old skeleton. So, that being said, that sets the tone of the ridiculousness of the things that I have gotten myself into while playing this game. And to give even more of a idea of what this is like, I've played this game since Xbox 360. So I've gotten 2 copies on 360. I've gotten a copy on my Xbox. I wanted a copy for my Switch, but I didn't get it because my Switch I have is not powerful enough for it. And I have ESO, which is kind of similar, but not really. But like the regions of Skyrim exist in ESO. So technically, I kind of got another version of it. So a solid 10 years of my life, give or take, have been spent into this game. And there's so many things that have happened. Good, bad, weird, unfortunate. But yeah, so this is the intro. I am going to plan to do a longer episode later in the week, but this is just the introductory and try to get everything kind of smooth feeling. And what I say, I will also attempt to bring in some of my cohorts, if you will, to put in their input because some of these stories actually involve them. So having both sides of the perspective will be great. There will be a lot of yelling, so I do apologize ahead of time. I do get very worked up during certain stories, especially if it involved my death or some nonsense that should not have happened because of someone else. But we'll get there. Should be fun. So, hope you enjoy what is to come and stick around for the ride, and we'll see where we get. Um, Till then, I'm Dragon's Fury, and welcome to the Den.